Okay, welcome everyone to $5 Fridays with Taemond. Today I will be showing you the Basement Collection. Now, the Basement Collection is a compilation of 9 games by Edmund Macmillan. He is the creator of the very well known and much revered and also much hated Super Meat Boy and The Binding of Isaac, which you could very much say the exact same things for. Now, the Super Meat Boy and The Binding of Isaac are very much the games that I love. I've put many hours into Super Meat Boy, trying to perfect my speedruns in that game. It is very addictive, and anyone else who has played it, I'm sure you have come to the same conclusions of the game. Very addictive, but very much rage-worthy at the same time. So this is a collection on Steam. The whole entire collection, or you can only buy it as a collection, because it's got these 9 small games in it, is $4. So, very cheap game. I was lucky enough to have this gifted to me, and it was on sale and a daily deal on Steam, I think, last week for $2.75. So, either way, under $5. I will not be testing every game, since that'll take a fair while, I would imagine, but I'll just pick out some random ones to show you guys. First of all, immediately recognizable art style. This art style, this kind of cutesy yet underlying darker theme to it, is something that I really like. It was definitely a draw for The Binding of Isaac and Super Meat Boy. And like those two games, the music very much sounds the same. Like, it's very much the same style. There is a soundtrack which you can click on and listen to, and then it'll open up a folder containing all the music of the game. So there's a simple Explorer folder, and you can just view the music there. In MP3 format, of course, so very easy. Now, let's start on Aether. Space is my best friend, since this was at the start of the menu. I should explain at the moment that I have no idea what these games will contain. I'm only presuming it's going to be a lot of puzzling, a lot of platformers. Let's do classic. Even though it has no graphics options, it's nice to see something there. Little bit of limerick going on with the writing. Always a fan of limerick. Charming little story. Okay, very simple controls. Ooh, this is intriguing. Well, this is an immense amount of fun. Just swinging. Oh, you can't hold on to those. What if there's anything else here? Very charming art style. Also, I love the classic soundtrack. Might have to listen to a remix later on. Or the second option. Very much reminds me of Pixel Junk Eden, the way you just swing around. It's got the same sort of feeling to it. Now, I'm not sure if this game has multiple levels, But we will find out soon enough. Oh, mine's space. Space. If you don't know that reference, then go find out. It's from a brilliant game. Okay, it appears gravity is completely changed. Looks like the levels point in the location of these little dots here. Oh. Not exactly sure what I'm supposed to be doing. That looks like a scary planet. I'm not sure if she's... Ooh. Hello. Achievement? Jeeves. You're nothing special. Aww. Don't you like my monster? Hello? So there's not much I can say at the moment. This seems to be a very zen platformer. I'll leave this. It looks like this is greatly based on exploration, so I shall leave it up to you guys to explore. I'll be back with the next game. Okay everyone, welcome back. Okay, let's see. For the next game, we might try Tracknet. Now the other game, Aether, seems to be an exploration game, so I think that's something to do at your own pace. So I'll leave that to you guys. I don't want to give you too much spoilers. Let's try Tracknet, an oldie but a goodie. Let's look at the instructions. Okay. Again, lovely music. Love this music. And the art style. That is adorable. Oh, poor Tracknet. It's like Q-op or Clop, but easier. Oh, this soundtrack is just brilliant. I'm gonna be quiet for a second to let you guys hear this. So as you guys can hear, it is a very, very well composed soundtrack, as we've come to expect from this developer. Now the art style is less profound here, but you can definitely see the influences. Well, I think this is one of the okay, so apparently you can't just smash your legs down too hard. No, this is a very interesting game. Some people might find this style of movement a bit tedious. There's a rock here. What if we can pick this up? Oh! Oops. I feel really bad whenever this spider or Tracknet gets hit. Okay, let's grab that thing that was over here before. Not exactly sure what it's for though. Again, this seems to be some sort of puzzle platformer. Hello. Not sure what you are. Apparently you can balance the track here by moving about. Oh, you can. That might help with some momentum. Oop. Only thing is, if you got dual monitors, it doesn't seem to hold the screen. It doesn't hold it in the screen. Which is a bit of a problem when trying to move that object around. But never mind. Let's continue forward a bit. I think most of the draw in these games... Oops, gotta be careful with that. I think most of the draw in these sort of games would be if you're a fan of Super Meat Boy and The Binding of Isaac, and indeed the developer. And just interested in seeing what else they can do. These seem to be more sort of Zen games than The Binding of Isaac. Oh, hello. You're adorable. Not exactly sure if there's any point to carrying these things around, but we'll find out later. Again, I won't be doing much in each of these games, I'll leave it for you to play. This is definitely going to be a very slow going game. Interesting writing style. Okay. So there is an actual objective. So I won't do too much on that as well. Don't want to be here for hours. Now let's try this one. Gotta love that art style. Again, more great music. One thing you can definitely say about all these games is they have a very strong sense of character. This is something I've noticed the developers do extremely well. Create your own level designs. Never mind, let's start. Now I'm not exactly sure what this game involves, but we shall soon find out. Surprisingly for this developer, the game seems to have some sort of purpose. But storytelling in this game is done very interesting. I must say, just the pure weirdness of all these games is again another draw. The closest thing I could imagine is sort of like the way Tim Burton does his films, the pure scope, like how odd they are. And the themes of them is indeed what draws people to see them, and indeed I. This is very much similar. But I think what holds you together through these games will be the sheer amount of character that it evokes through the soundtrack, the visuals, and the characters, and what on earth is going on. Okay. Probably should have read that. Oh. Okay. Pretty simple so far, but if Super Meat Boy is anything to go by, you will hate yourself by the end of this. Okay, so that was a very bad idea. I don't think there's any reason to go down there, so let's not. Alright, I shan't do too many levels. I'm still not exactly sure. It's got such a weird aesthetic to it, but I really enjoy it. See what happens. Oh. I see what needs to be done. Again, brilliant soundtrack. Certainly very odd. And very good. It seems a lot of these games seem to be going on some sort of experimental premise. So this is time for or however you want to say it, in your regional equivalent. Again, not a good idea. It looks like the white areas are the only areas you can change. Probably should read the instructions. I'll just finish up this level, then we shall have a look at the final, well, not the final game, but the final game I shall show you, which will be the original Super Meat Boy concept. Oh yes. So not sure if there's any score or time elements to this, but I'm not a fan of those, so just getting through the level is good enough. Again, time, whatever that is. I know what it is, by the way. I'm not going to say it though. There's a certain level of decency one must retain in a respectable environment such as ours. Or you could just be the everyday Joe Blow. So, it seems to be that a lot of these games, the draw of them is the character and aesthetic. But as always, the gameplay in each of them is very tight. As we've seen with like Super Meat Boy and Binding of Isaac, the gameplay is just really good. Simple to use, but hard to master. So let's play the original Meat Boy to finish up this collection. You could, that's not a symbol I've seen in a while. It's interesting to see what they started off doing though, particularly where they started off. Now, if that isn't familiar, actually I'm sure a lot of these levels will be the alternate universe that you see in Super Meat Boy. If anyone knows about that. No, not the Dark World, the portals you can find. Also map creation, that is very interesting. Hello world. And the exact same thing. Dr. Fetus captures Bandage Girl, and you have to go save her. Nope. So it looks like this only runs at 30 FPS, but the controls are very much the same. The controls are a little different. For one, you don't jump as far. It's just interesting to see where Super Meat Boy started off. Let's get the bandage. Oop, completely failed there. Nearly. Okay, that's interesting. Beat 3 out of the 5 levels to advance. So the controls definitely are not as tight as in Super Meat Boy. And I'm derping a lot. So the controls aren't as tight, but it's still a very enjoyable game. I can see where the success came from. The art style is still very much the same. It's a pity I can't... oh, bandage. Oop, you need to be fast. Let's get that bandage. Now I'm playing with a keyboard, the controls are a little fumbly. I was glad to see they tightened them up immensely in Super Meat Boy to what it can easily be said is some of the tightest controls in a platformer ever. So yeah, controls are a little fumbly, but if you're a Super Meat Boy fan, definitely check this out. It's very interesting to see the roots of the game. So there we have it, folks. Meat Boy. So if you are a fan of Super Meat Boy or Binding of Isaac, this is definitely a game, or series of games for you to check out. So the Basement Collection, $4 on Steam. Incredibly cheap, and like just for one of these games I'd expect to pay that. They seem all very enjoyable, although there are certainly some that I haven't tried yet. But they're just brilliant. Like, the character would definitely draw you through everything. There's really nothing bad to say about these. They're easily of the same quality of Binding of Isaac or... Is that a bit of Super Meat Boy here in the background? Could have sworn it was. So yeah, Binding of Isaac, Super Meat Boy, these are the origins. Of the developer anyway. And in some cases, the origin of the actual game. You look so happy. Well, I might see if I can try and unlock some more of these games. This has been Taemond with $5 Fridays and the Basement Collection. Remember, $4 on Steam. I'd recommend this alone, but I'd definitely recommend it if you're a fan of Super Meat Boy and Binding of Isaac. If you love the music and the style, this alone will be eye candy and ear candy to you. And of course it comes with a soundtrack as well. So that's just exceptional. I for one love getting soundtracks for things. Some of the games do run at 60 FPS, the original Meat Boy seems to run at only 30 FPS, but it doesn't matter. The controls are still very tight and are very enjoyable games, even the more experimental ones. That has been all for me. Taemond to $5 Fridays. See you later. I kinda want to do Meat Boy again.